Hello and welcome to season 1, episode 1 of Sketchbook and Yap. I actually obviously haven't even tried doing one yet, so I don't know, maybe it will not be a thing. Anyway, I had this idea of doing a drawing and talking at the same time video because I find that first off, being in flow is kind of contagious, and maybe I could share that with you depending on how things go, if I feel in flow or not. And secondly, because I feel like when you're drawing or doing something creative, like suddenly things just come into your mind that are really interesting, because your brain kind of sees metaphors in what you're doing. I have my phone as well, which I was thinking of recording at the same time, so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'll just start that. At the moment, I'm really feeling drawn to the idea of being in flow and what that looks like and what that means and what that can produce, and the idea of you're not necessarily in control. There's like a force that's running through you. I don't know, I mean, it's like an inexplicable feeling that I think I often don't allow myself to be in because I like to plan things and know what I'm doing. Ooh. I found some sticks. My art teacher always told me not to use black paint. She told me to mix the colours myself, but I think that's very different because that was for like painting real life. And I'm not painting real life today, no sir. I think oftentimes we get an anxiety when we're doing something because it's like the tension between you like it as it is, but you have an impulse to change it. You have an impulse to try something new with what you have, but you know that if you try that new thing, then you can't get back to where you were before. I mean, that's the same with anything, right? Like in life. Like, ew, what is this? But it's okay. Sometimes you do just need to see things without something in between them. See, the fear of ruining it is coming up again. I'm experimenting, okay? Okay, I have a vision. Hate already, hate. Intrigue, but hate. I think when you hate something, what you have to do is not allow the feeling of hate to consume you. I accept that feeling, but if you continue to feel hate, it will continue to get worse and you'll hate it more. We're not always supposed to have everything planned, you know? I'm a sucker for this. I love to plan, to know where I'm going, at what time, with whom, how it's going to look, when it's going to end. So sometimes it's hard because you feel like you're trusting the flow and then what comes out is kind of ugly. I often used to think, like, what is the point of making art? Like, why do we do it? And by we, I mean me, really. And I think for me it is about practicing getting through that wall of emotions about being perfect and being in control, and practicing trusting a bit more. That is the point. It's like an exercise. Not all the time. I mean, there's lots of different purposes. Not everyone's the same. This is kind of what I meant by sometimes just being in flow doesn't always mean doing things really fast, is what I feel like I'm learning. Sometimes you have an idea and it takes a second. This feels like an explosion of energy. Another thing about being in flow is you have to be present, I think. As soon as you start letting your mind wander, which I'm doing right now, I don't know, it feels like that if it's not wandering on the topic, then you've maybe lost it. I don't know, it's a very elusive thing to be in flow. It almost makes me want to do another swoop. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Even though my mind is telling me not to do it. I'm gonna do acrylic and water. Should I add some colour? No, we're not doing colour today. Here goes nothing. I like using watercolour and acrylic and water do really well together. It basically makes like ink. I guess it doesn't have quite the same quality. No, it doesn't, like, ink does, like when you add water it like does that thing. I don't think that would do that thing here. No. If you did that with ink, I feel like it would just get these little like firework things. Oh no! All the other pages have a bit of black on them now. What is this? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I almost want to do a wash. Like a lighter wash type situation. Okay, I hate it again. It just feels too dark. I'm trying to be light, like a fairy. I was thinking about this the other day. Sometimes when you're not really sure what to do, it's good to go back to something familiar to you. Like I always seem to do flowers or something to do with nature. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to come straight from the pit of your belly. It can be, and then once you start and you feel more safe, more comfortable, then that allows you to branch out and to explore through that other things. It's like a foundation of safety, maybe. Maybe wavy gravy. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Panic, I think, is what I feel. Like, I'm not going to profess that I know what I'm doing here. I think a lot. I'm probably often wrong. And someone else could probably say it better. It's just little experiments, isn't it? And that's the point of a sketchbook. Even if right now I'm ruining all the pages underneath. So it's kind of ugly. I'm trying to tell myself that's okay. I don't really like making ugly things. I do it quite a lot though. I think it's something that I need to overcome, is worrying about what things look like and instead prioritizing how they feel. which actually kind of spreads into all areas of life too, like how you dress and what you do. It's not always how it looks on paper, quite literally, which also means prioritizing your own experience over the judgment of other people, which is tricky when you're used to prioritizing other people's feelings over your own. Bum, 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 bum. I hope you enjoyed this video and that maybe you felt comforted by someone else, not by someone else failing. I don't think it's a failure. It's not a masterpiece though, and I don't know how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like a knot in my stomach a little bit, but you know, it's a stepping stone. I hope you feel reassured maybe, or even inspired. That would be the best. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope you continue to have a good day. And yeah, see you next time. Maybe.